that's a tremendous looking trophy.
Greetings and welcome to Platinum Explosion! It is me, the one and only, the far superior host, Ciaran Bloody Marchant. That is right, friends. I have finally done it. After some good advice from fellow listeners, I replaced the things I used to trap Dylan with last week, which I definitely can remember, I'm just choosing not to say now, with Porgs from Star Wars. And he is trapped in my mousetrap. I have left him alone with my death trap. With no possible way for him to escape, the laser is possibly cutting into him right now.
A laser? That's extravagant.
And here is my ever-friendly, ever-grateful, nefarious sidekick, Ashley Hobley. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm happily not in a mousetrap.
You're not in a mousetrap, exactly. Yep. Dylan is. Dylan's in my mousetrap. He's probably dying. I didn't even need to leave henchmen to watch over him. It's fine.
I'm sure nothing bad will happen.
Nothing bad will happen at all. He can't escape. There's no way. But welcome to the number one PlayStation podcast in the Oceanics. We're here today to talk all things PlayStation, do a trip around Middle-earth, dive into a couple different topics. So, if you didn't know, if you've avoided all of the hullabaloo, I'm going to use that word, hullabaloo, surrounding Middle-earth Shadow of War that was released last week, we're here to discuss it. We're going to try not to do spoilers, try and be pretty good about it, because I want people to play this game. So Ashley and myself have been playing this game, as well as both Nick and Tom, who aren't able to join us, but have provided some feedback for the game. Ash, what are you thinking of it?
It's great. I love it. It's more Shadow of Mordor, which was the first game, and yeah, it's bigger and better, and it's great.
And that was the thing that I don't know why I hadn't thought of it, but the moment I got into that first region and the moment I started doing all the checkpoints on the map is the moment I realized, wait, I really loved Shadow of Mordor. Like, I loved that game. Like, why was I even slightly apprehensive about this game? This is so much fun. And instantly had that fun of clearing the map, going through, fighting random orcs.
Just slaughtering wave after wave.
Just going through wave after wave, or moments where you have to fight like 6 orc captains in a row because they just keep appearing while you're fighting another one. You're just like,
son of
stop!
Come on!
Of course I'm gonna die eventually if you keep throwing them at me.
God, no arrows
Why are you all here? But I've really enjoyed it. So if you haven't heard of it, Shadow of War is the ever anticipated sequel to Shadow of Mordor, still featuring, what is the character's name again?
Talion.
Thank you. That's
Celebrimbor.
I haven't played it in like 2 days. Talion with Celebrimbor. Yeah, I remember that name because that name's fun to say. But it follows their story again, this time into the clutches of Shelob and their adventures after that.
All right,
so really
here's the massive thing Nick was going on about. Apparently this spider is not meant to turn into a human.
Well, you know, I'm going to go a little nerdy here. Shelob in the books.
So you're a big Tolkien fan?
I'm a big Tolkien fan.
Yep.
I've looked at a lot of deeper lore of the books. And it is written in a couple of different places. It has been mentioned that Shelob was supposed to have previously some kind of shape-shifting abilities. So, yes, this isn't canon, and they've probably taken a bit of liberties with it. But
they've taken a lot of liberties from what I've heard.
Yeah. But
it's fun. The story isn't really what I'm playing this game for, but
no.
It pushes
and
you
that's
through.
The thing. I'm still doing the thing where, and I'm just finishing the second area, so there's, I think, 5 areas in total. I think that's what I've read.
I think I've encountered 5.
5 areas in total.
I think, yeah.
And it's interesting to me because it's following the same pattern that the first game is, and I haven't got to the end, but from what I've read, and I don't know quite how far you are, Ashley, but from what I've read, a lot of the meat and veg of this game are in the back half of the game, like the whole mechanic that was advertised about building an army and like taking over other armies and stuff like that. That doesn't seem to come into it until much later into the game.
Have you started building an army yet? Have you gotten?
No, I haven't started anything.
You're
like
still.
That.
Yeah, I know where you are then. But yeah.
Like I've literally, I've done the second area. I'm like cleared up that region. And I can't remember what the last quest I did. It was something for Shelob down there. I went and killed an assassin or something. Yeah, no, I went and killed an assassin that was going to kill some people. I'm going to say yes. Yeah. So how far through the game does that kind of army building mechanic kind of come into it?
So after you finish in Minas Ithil,
which is the first area.
Once you finish the story missions around that, it sort of opens up to where you start branding the orcs and start building, converting them to your side and building an army from there. Which,
definitely.
Yeah, I was fortunate. I sort of powered through the story to start off with.
Yes.
Because I wanted to get to that part. So, yeah.
Yep.
If you're the completionist type and you have to pick up every little thing, you might be waiting a little while before you get to that section.
Yeah, that's probably me.
I
don't have to pick up every little thing, but I like doing I think mentally I have to get the Shelob memories done in the area, find all like the little like words and do those poems. That first poem, my goodness. I took there's the challenge where you have to find the words and then you have to go complete a poem with the words you have. For some reason, the first one I could not do.
No, I haven't even touched it.
You haven't?
No.
I had to Google it because I was like, what? And Nick posted it in our Facebook chat a couple of days later, and I was like, okay, so it's not just me. That's fine. But yeah, those insignias, and then there's another one. What's the other like side quest thing? Oh, and collecting the Gondor artifacts.
Yep.
The other thing that I'm happily surprised with, and I don't know because I haven't been to the other areas just yet, but one of the things I read comments early for this game that it was the same kind of dreary, bleak kind of landscape, and then I think that's very wrong because I really enjoyed the landscape of Minas Ithil because there was nowhere really like that. It's almost like it's very much a mini Gondor city. You can tell by the architecture of the buildings and everything. And then moving on to the second, like Badlands,
sort of caverns and that sort of thing.
Caverns and stuff, and it does go back to how it was in the first one. But I think there is a range, and I'm interested.
Yeah, there is definitely a range of landscapes within the game.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see where it goes from there. Have you got any nitpicks? I know Tom mentioned to us that Tom's had a few problems with the parkour and the free running in this game, which I haven't had yet.
Yeah, there's sometimes you try and roll like you want to jump over like a small stone fence thing, wall's probably the correct term, and you just keep rolling into it instead of like jumping over it if you're holding down X, but that's
my
only
other problem was the only problem I think I've had mechanically was there's the ability you get it fairly early in the game, the ability where you like kind of when you climb, if you hit A, when you grab a ledge, it kind of like rockets you into the air a little bit. That sometimes is a bit off. Well, sorry, X. I have not shown which console I've been playing it on. You hit X, and it kind of rockets you into the sky.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's been a bit off for me because I've been like, okay. Oh no, I've overshot that. Okay, whatever. But
sometimes when you're going up against you want to like maneuver yourself at the ledge. You have to get super close to the orcs that you want to stab from the ledge. It's a bit difficult sometimes. And selecting people for when you're like trying to jump down from above, do an aerial kill.
That one's a pain. That's the only pain.
Especially if it's like a big group and you're trying to get the captain and.
There's like you do challenges where you have to go back in time and be Celebrimbor from earlier. And there's one of them where it's like, do this mission in like a minute, don't kill anybody else but your target, and you have to kill your target with an air assassination. So you're literally like up above him trying to like, in time limit, trying to make sure you pick the right one. I think I redid that 4 times because I kept missing and hitting somebody else instead. So I think the one thing, and I think it's a credit to the developers, a lot of games when it's a sequel, they like to take you back a lot. They like to, when the opening cutscene happened and something happens to the character, I was like, okay, this is how they take like all the powers off you. This is how they take everything you learnt in the first game and reset you. And it doesn't really do that. Yeah, it takes a couple of the minor powers away, but you are, except for like domination and stuff, you're very much at the same power level and starting point you were when you finished the last game, which I really like because I instantly was feeling like a badass again. I didn't feel crap.
Well, even if they were locked, like you could unlock it very quickly. The leveling up in the early game is like really quick. So, and
I don't think the skill points are exactly tied to
Levels, no, because there's a bunch of different missions and stuff that give you skill points as well.
Yeah, because I think I've got way more. Like I've almost filled out like the base level of everything.
Yeah, so for every one of those Celebrimbor missions, you get a skill point if you do a silver or higher.
Oh, okay. That's more to know. And they're really cool. You do those, and then you can get a piece of armor and stuff out of it, which I think is really cool. I like it. There's the item and inventory system is really good.
Yeah.
I think I haven't got. There's enough good things I can like. I can't like if you've been worried about the media jargon that's going on about this game, don't worry about it. And we're gonna go into the loot boxes fiasco in just a second, because I don't think even like, and I see this of a lot of people that have actually sat down and played the game. You instantly go, oh wait, this is not a big deal. Like this is what are the people talking about?
It's not even noticeable, really, because
no,
it's not like in your face as soon as you open the menu up. It's trying to sell you stuff.
No, the only thing that annoys me is it has a little marker on the marketplace, and I'm like,
yeah, you can't get rid of it. Yeah,
I hate
you.
you.
Looking at.
I keep opening my pause menu. There's a little marker next to it. I'm like, I hate you so much right now. But with it, like, have you got any? Like, I can never remember I can always remember when I played Shadow of Mordor. It wasn't the quest line that I talked the most about. It was the random encounters in the game that made the game so lovable, and like just the little lines that Orcs said, or the voice actors that voice random Orcs is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've had anybody. There's a couple. I don't know if you've had anybody. Have you had any yet?
I have had. Have you had the Orc that plays a guitar, like a banjo, like a musical instrument and sings?
No, but that's awesome.
An Orc. Yeah, that'd
be
awesome.
me if I was an Orc.
I was super disappointed. I accidentally killed him instead of tried to.
Yep.
So now he's gone forever.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, obviously Bruz, the chopper who we saw in the
Bruz,
commercial.
I haven't got to Bruz yet, and that makes me sad.
Is great.
I love it. The other day, Tom mentioned to us, he's like, "Oh, I just ran into this Australian came Bruz," and then we were like, "Did you not watch any of the build-up material to this thing? Like what?"
Oh god. And yeah, I think also if you've got Shadow of Mordor on your system, it picks up your nemesis from the last game.
Oh really?
Yes, because I did definitely fight somebody from my previous game. I'm pretty sure. And there's also couple of returning characters.
That's pretty cool, because there was stuff like, I think my first nemesis in this game was some random Orc that was named Poog, P-U-G, Poog. Yeah. And I was so angry that I got beat by somebody with that name that was really Pug. I was like, I hate this. I'm going to kill him instantly. I think my noticeable one, and I actually died because of it, because I was honestly laughing so hard. I don't know if anybody's IT, like a Silicon Valley fan or you. The guy who plays Dinesh, who's also in The Big Sick, he voices an Orc.
Yep.
And I literally read into him and was dying with laughter. And I was just not concentrating on the game, and I died, and he killed me, and he's now my nemesis currently in the game, and I'm like, I'm okay with this.
If you want a good laugh, look up Conan O'Brien's Clueless Gamer.
Yeah, I did. Somebody mentioned this afterwards, and I was like, oh shit, okay.
He had Kumail on to play Shadow of War with him. It was good.
Yeah, it was a good thing. It was very funny, because the voice didn't actually match up with the Orc, because the Orc has his face covered, so it's like, it seems so weird, but so cool at the same time. Yeah. So, let's dive into this loot box fiasco. All in about while we're still talking about this. So, Shadow of War, if you haven't heard, people, Shadow of the War has a loot box system in it with microtransactions, if you wish, where the loot boxes contain Orcs, rare and legendary Orcs, for you to add to your army. I guess the big problem in this is many people, when it first came out, some reviewers came out and said, look, the end of the game's a grind and you can't really do it without buying loot boxes. And people have been up in arms a little bit about this, and it's the loot box whole scenario has kind of gone out of whack in the last couple weeks because of it. From my playtime with it, as we said, it doesn't affect, like, I've got enough currency that if I really wanted to buy them, I could buy them. Yeah. Like, they're not completely out of reach for me. So I don't. Do you have much problems with them? Do you have any disagreements?
No, I haven't had a need to buy anything. The only loot boxes I opened was the pre-order bonus that comes in a loot box. Then I did a online vendetta or something one of the online missions where you go kill somebody. You get a loot box for that, so I opened that. But it doesn't seem to be doing very much. I mean, it's hard to say. Everybody talks about the Act 4 is where it starts to feel like you need it. But from what I've read, it's not really necessary unless you're trying to get through the game as quickly as possible.
That was the thing. That was the thing for me. Are people... My biggest question for these people that are complaining about that situation, were the players, were they just smashing through the storyline, getting to Act 4 and then still having the whole maps to clear? Or were they clearing off the maps and then going through the storyline? Because I feel like I've got enough that if I ever needed to, I could. If I really wanted to. I can understand that, quite clearly, I think even if the microtransactions weren't in the game, it would still be the same. Like, they wouldn't change the quote-unquote grind of the game, because it's like catching Pokemon. Like, equivalent to... It's Pokemon with Orcs. That is a great... I'm calling this from now on Pokemon with Orcs, people. Pokemon with Orcs, because it's what you get... If you're lucky, you get the Perfect Torch. You get legendary Orc appear. If you're not, you get some random Orc, like a Pidgey. And you're just like, oh, okay, you just...
And I mean, if you train it up well enough, that Pidgey could be just as good as the legendary. Exactly,
you could make it so... I think
if your legendary has like a weakness to poison, you're screwed. They could just die super quick.
If it wasn't such a good world filled with... if it wasn't such a well-built world with interesting characters and interesting environments, I'd have a problem, sure. Sure, I'd have a problem, but they're not forcing you to buy these loot boxes.
No.
It's the same as loot boxes being bought in Overwatch or in some PC games, or where it's generally they're just for cosmetic use. Yep. Generally, they're just cosmetic. I think the worst for loot boxes / microtransactions, the worst thing recently has been NBA 2K18.
Yeah,
apparently that is horrible because it literally stops you playing online stuff. Not because it's like you can't. It's because when you get into games, players apparently see that your character's so low and they just kick you from their team. Is what I've heard.
Okay, that wouldn't surprise me.
Online. Because your player isn't high enough skill level, because you actually have to either work it through or buy these loot boxes.
That one is a super grind because it's all just one currency for everything. Yeah. For every mode, it's all one big pool. So
that's ridiculous. And this, I think Shadow and Water you could play without doing any microtransactions.
Yeah,
Shadow War.
That's part of the fun, trying to avoid microtransactions.
Yeah, just avoid it, man. Just do it. And the interesting thing is, I don't know if you've seen this today, but there's been petitions around, and it's already gone to the Australian government, and they kind of shoot it away, where people want to get loot boxes legalized under the form of gambling. Like, they want to house loot boxes and buying that kind of thing under the same laws that gambling does, which I think is ridiculous.
I think it's a bit extreme. Yeah,
it's extreme because I think what they generally legally call gambling is something where you can put money into it and you get nothing in return.
Yeah,
where
you could potentially lose.
Yeah.
Everything.
You could lose everything. Where loot boxes, even if you put the money into it, you're gonna get something back. You still get something. It might not be exactly what you want, but you're still getting something. And that's the whole thing about the luck of the draw. Like, some people I saw online saying, we want them to show the probability of us getting each item. And I'm like, well, where's the fun in that? Like, where's the... Yes, in fact, it does prove a point that I would be less likely to buy one if I saw that a really legendary Orc, so for sake, was 1%. I'd be like, oh, okay, there's no point. I really want just that one. But... I don't agree with it. I don't agree with them trying to control loot boxes that way. I don't agree with the world, and I might get, come at me, at your boy Ringo if you disagree, but I don't agree that people are so against these companies from doing this type of thing. I'm against companies that are doing it that has a direct impact on the gameplay and your experience with the game. I'm not against them putting stuff in to make a bit more money for themselves if it's just cosmetic or not something that's going to stop you from progressing in the game.
No, it's like buying blind box like toys and figures and that sort of thing. I mean, that wouldn't be gambling. I mean, you've got a certain percentage chance of getting something, but
You go to
You get something.
In the future, you're going to go to your child's like school fair. They're going to have a lucky dip, but you're going to have to like get your ID checked to be over 18 to do it.
You're not allowed to pick out. Not allowed to guess how many jelly beans are in that jar. You have to have ID.
Kinder surprises. Our American viewers, I know you can't have them anyway, but Kinder surprises are now illegal.
Yeah.
It's just
It's crazy.
It's the extent that people buy stuff. Like, if you play card games such as Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon, those boosters are now technically would be under the same thing.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same. You're buying a card pack and you don't know what's in there.
Yeah. All trading cards.
All trading cards, you just good luck. If you have the decision that this is gambling, please tweet at me or send us an email. mail@explosionnetwork.com. I'd love to hear your point of view because I'd love to open up the discussion and let it be a decent forum for it to be discussed rather than people just talking in a vacuum. So please, and if you disagree with me completely, at Lord Empire.
Yep.
That's fine. That's who we do. Any more closing points on Shadow of War?
No, I'm keen to keep playing it. I mean, it's really good because it's sort of that game where you can like I've been listening to podcasts and stuff while I've been running around slaughtering orcs and captains and that sort of thing, clearing the map. So it's that kind of game as well. And then you can sort of just focus when you want to do like the story missions, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you go out and play this, if you've been dismayed or dissuaded by the talk of microtransactions and loot boxes, go give it a try. Give the game a try because they don't force you to buy them. The game does not force you to buy them. Still to support a great developer that puts great work into their games. And if you want to support them some more, maybe buy a micro loot box. Like maybe do some microtransactions within reason. If you're able to, maybe do one or two that buys a cosmetic or something. Because if this is, I'm going to preach for a second. So raise your hands, Ash. Raise your hands for me. Just raise your hands and feel the glow of the microtransactions. Because even though in Australia we already pay sometimes up to $100, $110 for a game, let's if this is what needs to happen, if people having microtransactions keeps it at that price and stops them from raising it up, let's do it. Let's do it. That's all right. Let's be still. Be still.
Yep.
You can lower your hands down.
I don't agree with that 100%. I mean, it'd be nice if they didn't have microtransactions, but I completely understand that some of these bigger games need to have more sources of income, and hopefully that means that they'll stick around and like support the game for a longer period of time after release.
Definitely. Microtransactions can be a good thing, people. Let's not rule them out and say they're money hungry all the time. Sometimes they are, but not all the time. Moving right along, I just want to go. We had over at Explosion Network, twitch.tv/Explosion Network. I don't even know my own Twitch channel. What is this? We went back and played some games Saturday night. We went back and played Friday the 13th for a couple of hours. I haven't played it in like 2 months. I love that game. We've mentioned it, how much I love this game previous episodes. I was super surprised at the amount of work that's been done on that game in maybe a month when I haven't played it.
Yeah.
Like there was
a whole new map.
There was a whole new map. There was new load-in animations for Jason.
Yeah. They die differently.
They died differently. It wasn't like the awkward picture of freaking Chad's face every time. It was still buggy in places, but I still...
But that's part of its charm.
It's part of its charm. It's always been... It's funny to see some bugs in that game. But, like, all praise to the developers of this game, just because half games like this, people like... I know Friday the 13th, they had the worry that the developer had already started work on another game and they didn't care about Friday the 13th anymore, which is not true. Which is not true at all. They've put so much love. If you check out the Friday the 13th Twitter... Friday the 13th game Twitter channel, they have a roadmap of the future releases, and they've got like months of content prepared.
They've still got a single player coming out.
They've still got a single player coming out. They've got like a VR experience, I think, coming out. They've got new maps, new players, new character skins, new clothes, new everything. And that like, people need to do this more. I'm so sick and tired of games like Friday the 13th coming out, and then it just seems like the developers just stop supporting it. They're just like, it's out there, we're done.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what? Like, what do you think, Ash? Have you had any games, or have you? I don't know if you've played a game where it's just stopped supporting it, and you're just like, oh.
No, because
No.
I'm not really a big multiplayer fan, so that seems to be the market where you need to keep working to keep
definitely.
people around. Obviously, Overwatch is the game that is doing it the best, you'd argue. They keep
Another reason
supporting-
why people need to keep doing microtransactions. Bloody Blizzard. Blame Blizzard for your problems, people.
Yeah, but yeah, this is... I mean, you look at the multiplayer games that died off really quickly. I mean, Evolve, Battleborn, games like that, they just didn't have the support that... It felt like it didn't have the support that Friday.
That's the thing as well, because apparently Evolve went to go on to be this awesome free-to-play game. They just really buggered up the start of the game and nobody went back. Apparently it went on to be really awesome for free-to-play, so... it's sad, especially because I think they were starting to turn off Evolve servers or something recently, and that was really sad to hear. But support... I just want developers to support more games. To get into more games and actually support what your audience is doing. Even if your audience is not massive, and I know sometimes it doesn't pay the bills, but at least have some kind of roadmap of support of what you're going to do for your game. Because you never know what's going to happen. More people might come and get it. Like Friday the 13th only just got released as a physical copy.
Last Friday the 13th.
On Friday the 13th. So, that game's going places. So please check out our Twitch schedule or check out the game itself. We'll be playing Friday the 13th quite regularly, I can guarantee it, because it's a really fun game.
Yep, Jack loves it.
Jack really loves the game. Thanks, Jack, for supporting it. I really appreciate it, my friend. And the game is thoroughly enjoyable.
Yep.
And, if you want to tweet at me, if you want me to play with you on PlayStation 4 or PC or on Xbox, I own them all. Just, tweet at me and I'll chase you while I'm Jason and I'll sing at you until you die. It's fine.
It's unsettling.
It can be very unsettling and I enjoy it a lot. Moving right along, one of the games, it comes out officially this week, but it was pre-released because they're doing these damn pre-release games on Friday, which is WWE 2K18 by the same developers.
Is it still Ukes?
Yeah, it's still Ukes, I believe. Let me fact check that. But it came out, and it's really interesting to see because that game, I am more impressed with the weekend of the creation suites in that game, because the level of customization in that game for build a character was awesome, and it's actually luring me back to the game, because a lot of the times in these WWE games, and I was a big fan of them, especially the SmackDown vs. Raw titles, Just Bring It, Here Comes the Pain, a lot of them were amazing, like really fun games. My biggest problem was whenever you used to create a character, they used to look terrible. They used to look so bad compared to the models that you would put up with. And a lot of them started to go, especially with 2K, have started to go the way of, if you want the career mode, the quote-unquote career mode, you have to pick and create your own character. And I'm like, it's going to look bad. Oh, okay, and I'll play it and then I'll stop. Now that there's these, so over the weekend, there has been a whole flood of games and... Not games, of whole flood of characters that have come out where people have made wrestlers from past eras or that didn't make it into the game or from other companies and put them into upload to the game. It's really impressive. And what do you think for players that need to, or for people that love these kind of creation suites, what do you dabble in creating stuff in games? Two, what do you think of like the extent of customization that people need to put into these suites for players to get the full everything they want out of it, the full experience?
I dabble a little bit, but not too much. I think that's not my area of expertise. I'm not very good at it. I do enjoy downloading. I remember back when it was THQ who had the license.
Yes.
So like you'd go and you'd download Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, all the Ninja Turtles, and have them fight in the ring at the same time. So I feel like the last couple of years it hasn't been as good a suite. I think it just a lot of things have been locked, you've only allowed to have a certain number of bits and pieces. maybe not as much.
I think it has loot boxes as well again.
Oh, would that be something?
Yeah, I think it
not
does.
as many like options, I think. So maybe they've opened it up a bit more. So yeah, I'm keen to see what people have been making into it.
The extent of stuff
2K.
that comes out on Twitter, and I like to scroll through it, and it's kind of tempting me to buy this game, as I mentioned. The amount of detail in some people is crazy. It's almost as if the developers have made the t-shirts and the actual character designs and the ring gear for them. It's really good. So thank you, 2K. Keep doing it. Make it better.
Yeah.
If you've made some crazy designs, if you want to create some Explosion Network wrestlers, shoot me through the deets, and when I buy the game, we will have an exhibition match. We'll have a tournament where we'll sit together and we'll watch the Explosion Network fight it out, and I can guarantee Dylan will win.
Yeah. Extra Life. We'll have a 7-man Money in the Bank match.
Yep. We're going to do it. Extra Life. No. Unless if somebody creates them, we'll do it. We'll organise it. We'll fit it into our schedule at Extra Life coming up this November. Check it out. You'll probably hear more about it later.
Probably. I suspect.
Moving on. Let's have a question of the show. Question
Mailbag.
of the show. If you could go back in time, Ashley Hobley,
Yeah.
and you could change history, you could Marty McFly the moment, you could take a gaming anthology with you. What gaming series do you wish you had created?
Mario. I just dropped my pencil. It was like a mic.
It was, but
yeah.
But
Create
Ash,
Mario.
But Ash,
That's the ultimate franchise.
but we're on a PlayStation podcast.
I know, but then you could bring... If you did, you'd have the license and you'd be able to bring a PlayStation.
Well, that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
You could, yeah.
Then people would actually play the games.
Oh.
Everybody would be able to play the games. Wouldn't be locked behind a paywall. That's a real paywall.
That is the great console of the Nintendo Switch. Well, I didn't say that. That's crazy.
And then the Wii U was a paywall to play.
Oh, the Wii U. That was a terrible paywall. I was not investing in that Fisher-Price monstrosity. Ever. Yeah. Never.
What about you, Ciaran?
But I think there's a couple. I would probably... I think Final Fantasy. Because it's such a model that it's never going to stop. So it's like, okay, let's keep going.
Yeah.
We've called it the Final Fantasy, which is misleading as fuck. But we're going to keep on doing a different fantasy that is final every couple of years, which has been a good model. They're up to 15 now. They keep making like 15-2. And, one day we'll have 22-8. The 8th of the 22nd game. Like, what is that? Either that or maybe like Tomb Raider or Uncharted.
Yeah, a fun
just because
solo
I'm a
adventure.
Fan. I'm a fan of both those, and I'd be part of Naughty Dog. Well, poor Naughty Dog.
Maybe not this week.
Maybe not this week. I don't want to be part of Naughty Dog. That's the topic for another time when Dylan is on this show. If he, let me just... Sorry, 2 seconds, people. Just checking my security.
Yes,
Ashley! No!
What?
Dylan's escaped!
Oh
Quick.
no, he's defied death!
No! The laser! He must have kicked it out of the way and into his handcuffs, and he must have escaped.
Like James Bond.
Quick, I've got to find him. Send the porgs after him. Okay, keep going. We'll check back in at the end of the show to see if the porgs caught him. If they didn't, it's going to be making me angry. There's porgs. They better come back.
Yeah.
But,
porgs.
Yeah, it's one of those things with... There's a lot of video game franchises that... It's interesting to go back and see the video game franchises that did change the course of video games for the rest of time, or the rest of the industry, and see how that affect that. Grand Theft Auto 3. Grand Theft Auto 3 came out, changed the game completely.
Yeah.
Everybody and their dog started making open world games.
Pretty much.
Mario came out and just did what, other people were doing what Mario was doing, but Mario just did it better. And did it perfectly and had these characters. There's a lot where you wish you could go back and just be a millionaire and come up with Google and come up with like PlayStation and Xbox. and just be like, guys, be friends. You're all the same company now. Don't fight.
Yep.
Make console babies. Make the XS4. XS4 coming to the world near you.
I don't think that. I don't like that name.
Ashley, our partnership is not going very well currently.
Another franchise, Kingdom Hearts, and then maybe we'd have Kingdom Hearts 3 by now, if I was in command.
If you were in command, Kingdom Hearts 3 would be done.
Yep. We'd be out by now. We'd be on to Kingdom Hearts 4.
Would you have done a Kingdom Hearts 4? Would you stop it? I'm sick and tired of games not just being a trilogy. Let things be a trilogy.
We can start a new trilogy.
Just let it happen. Just let it be a trilogy. Name it something else. Call it Heart Kings Ex Machina. I'm on a naming roll today, people. I am naming all the games. All the games perfectly. You've got a good show here, people. I'm really proud of it because we're naming things together. If I find a game called Heart Kings Ex Machina, I'm coming for you.
Let's check out the Steam store.
The copyright ghost will follow you.
Someone's probably got it.
Time to go to everybody's favourite section of the show. Achievements of the week.
Boo!
What? Why?
No.
Why are you booing?
That's not what the segment's called, Ciaran.
That's not what the segment's called.
No. It's we talk about trophies, not achievements.
But this is wait. Is this kind of like a thing where we have to keep the status quo for a bit until after Dylan's actually dead?
Yeah.
Okay,
you got to wait to actually kill him properly.
Okay.
Once his body's in the ground, then you can change the show to whatever you want.
Right. Okay. Sure. This is Every Trophy Counts. Everybody's favorite section.
No jingle this week.
Tom will probably appear now and just start spewing information about trophies.
Yep.
Question.
Yes.
Not question. I don't know. Why did I say question? It's just
I don't know.
I'm all over the shop today, Ashley. This show, taking on Dylan's extra duties because he happens to get caught in a mousetrap, is inconvenient.
Yeah. Maybe you should just let him live. Then he can host the show every week and you won't get any. You don't have to worry about it.
He has to die. This is a Joker and Batman situation. You know?
But he doesn't die.
Exactly. I don't know what I'd do without him.
Well, then just let him live. And okay, let's just move on to the trophies.
Interesting trophy list that I've seen come through so far.
Yep.
Came out in the last week. And first one I'm talking about is Assassin's Creed Origins, which is released on the 27th of this month. Same game as pretty much every other game that's coming out this year, same day.
Yeah.
October 27th. Why was that such a good day for people? Let's just release everything. And have packs on that day as well. You know, whatever.
Because why not?
Why not? Why can't we have both? Dun, 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 dun. So, Assassin's Creed comes out. It has something ridiculous. It's not too bad. It has 1 platinum, 1 gold, 15 silvers, and 34 bronzes. As with all Assassin's Creeds, it just kind of looks pretty time-consuming, but not hard.
There's a trophy that says, bring a tamed lion to a crocodile.
That
sounds good to me.
Fun. That sounds pretty fun. Apparently there was such a thing called a hippodrome. Beat Ben-Hur.
Yes.
There's a couple. There's a couple look interesting. There's one that's like defog the entire map. I hope that's not too hard. I hope that's just climb a bunch of towers and jump off the top of them. And then forget that you didn't synchronize while you're at the top of the tower and then you have to climb back up.
Are there lions in Egypt?
There's a lot of things. Talking about Assassin's Creed Origin, I'm sure we'll talk about more when it comes out. There's a lot of things I'm looking at and I'm like, is that a thing that was in Egypt at the time? Really?
Because it's meant to be like a desert. How's a lion supposed to live in the desert?
Well, there's trees and water, I guess. I don't know. Maybe there's desert lions.
Man, Lion King would be way more depressing if it was just desert.
No, but there was that part in the desert. After, sorry, spoilers for a movie that's old as I am.
Yeah.
After Mufasa dies, he walks through a desert. Simba does.
That's true.
Poor out. He should have moved faster.
Terrible, Ciaran. Terrible.
Oh, let's hope Dylan returns for your sake next week.
Yeah. Just gonna lose our whole audience, Ciaran. All 5 of them.
I'm sorry. Michael, come back. But yeah, it's an interesting. I think I'm excited. I like the stuff with the eagle for this game. So,
yeah,
if you wish to sink
after
a
the
whole
year
bunch of time into a game with a heap of bronzes, go for your life. Go for your life. The other game I want to talk about is, as we mentioned earlier, WWE 2K18 Trophy Lift Draft, because of course people are playing it right now. Couple things. It comes with 1 platinum, 1 gold, 14 silver, 36 bronze. I'm interested by this trophy list because there's actually some there's more like trophies around like when is this character and when is this character and when is this character, which I think is pretty cool. I like that. That's interesting. It's better than some in the past. Some in the past have been terrible. There's always the online trophies that are increasingly annoying.
I don't think there is any online trophies in this.
Isn't there? That's amazing if there isn't.
I can't see any from my quick glance.
In your quick
Seems
glance.
to say
There's
all
a
play
lot.
against AI, so...
There's a lot that's like, do this as this character, which I really like. Interesting. We'll find out. But...
Yeah,
the one I want to talk to you about, you made me lose my place.
Sorry.
What I want to talk about is, there is a trophy called Made the Hard Way, which to do the trophy, spoilers, is perform 3 major reversals in a single match. Which, that seems pretty straightforward. Would you like to guess, if you're looking at it already, so you've probably ruined the surprise.
No, I can't find it. So
you can't find it? That's fine.
No.
Guess for me what the picture for that trophy is.
Reversal. I don't know. Randy Orton, RKO.
No.
Oh, no, I see it now.
It's the KFC logo.
Yeah, that's... I saw there's another one that's got the Snickers logo, and I thought, that's a bit weird.
So, pretty much, it looks like WWE has sold trophy images to
KFC and Snickers.
KFC and Snickers.
I mean, it's smart, I guess.
Is
or
it?
It fits.
But what? What? I was so confused. I had one of our listeners bring this up to me the other day, and I was super confused because it was just like, why? Why have you done
You don't have enough logos?
Like,
WWE?
You've got to have enough logos. Why are you putting KFC? I know WWE is doing some terrible promos at the minute with like KFC
Colonel
and
Sanders,
stuff,
yep.
where they're dressing
Angle,
wrestlers up as the Colonel, but my goodness.
Yeah.
Anywho, that is WWE, and that's all the trophies.
I've got some more trophy lists.
Oh God, you've got trophies.
Yep. Sorry, I just want to bring up Gran Turismo Sports trophy list came out. Obviously, we've still got the PlayStation Plus Trophy Hunters competition going.
Yep.
So when that comes out, the 3 golds are match Michael Schumacher's record of 91 F1 victories, match Ruben Micalo's record of 322 F1 races, and match Aaron Cena's record of 65 pole positions. So that will be something that will tide you over for a while. So I expect no one's going to get this platinum for a little while.
Are you a Gran Turismo fan?
Nope.
I've played Forza on the other hardware.
Yep.
That's a little superior.
You got your fill?
But Gran Turismo always never filled it for me. It was just a bit,
It's a lot of getting golds and missions and stuff. That's
Big golds, man.
I mean, if that's your thing, have fun. Tweet us if you get that platinum trophy.
Tweet at us if you want to tell us that you got a platinum trophy this week. Tweet at us and rub it in Tom's face, because Tom's currently playing through Shadow of War, and he'll eventually get that platinum, but it'll be a little while.
It probably will be a little while. And the other trophy list I want to bring up is a massive disappointment. I'm sure Dylan and Tom, the trophy experts, are very disappointed. Bubsy's The Woolies Strike Back. It's got 1 gold, 3 silvers, and 7 bronzes. No platinum. Very
no
disappointing.
platinum for Bubsy? What did
No
Bubsy do? PlayStation, Sony. What did Bubsy do to you?
It's very disappointing.
Why are you treating it though? It does look like, is there two different games coming up? Because it's coming up twice.
I don't know. Maybe it's like a European and a North American version.
Possibly. They're both PS4 games. That's 1 gold. Whole bunch of bronze.
One of the silvers is beat every level without losing a single life, so...
For a silver, so it must be fairly straightforward.
It's either fairly easy or...
fairly straightforward.
or they're really screwing with you.
Also, shout out to Evil Within 2. Check it out later this week. I believe tomorrow night, Tuesday night, when this drops. Tonight, for you lucky listeners, Jack Cruz will be playing Evil Within 2, which is, I like it. I watched Jack play it the other night, and it looked really fun. And then he's going to be playing it again Friday night as well. So check that out if you're interested in that game. Trophies for that, if we haven't already mentioned, are 1 plat, 1 gold, 14 silvers, 36 bronze. They love 36 bronze. I wonder, sometimes it's interesting.
Load it up.
Pardon?
Just load them up. Just put as many
up.
bronzes in.
That's the thing, right? Is there like a certain formula that you have to work out to allocate trophies or something?
I don't know. There must be.
There's got to be, because like 36 seems to be a pretty common number.
I don't
Also,
it must be a secret formula, like the 7 herbs and spices.
I don't know how hard it is, but I just saw, look into people. There's a game called Oceanic that is 1 platinum, 10 golds, 3 silvers. And it's on PlayStation 4 and Vita. So maybe you check that out. I have no idea. I just see it has some nice, good-looking trophies. It looks pretty doable, actually.
Yeah.
So it's got like 43% of people that have bought it have the platinum. So check that out. Do it. Any other trades for this you got for us this week?
No, that was all.
That was all. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this week on Platinum Explosion. I have had a lot of fun. I've got to go find a certain Tasmanian who is running around my secure complex currently, and make sure he.
You get those Porg henchmen in line, man.
I do. I've got to don't hire. I've just got I hired the wrong henchman.
What were you thinking?
You know what? I tried to cut back and buy cheaper henchmen. It was a bad idea. I've got to find him myself before he blows up the reactor core of this island.
You're on an island?
I'm on an island currently. Yes.
Did you buy the island before, or you're renting it? Or?
Well, it's kind of like a timeshare kind of thing. Like I kind
Okay.
of, I leased it for a couple of days because I thought Dylan would be pretty quick to kill.
He's elusive.
He's elusive little bugger. He is very elusive, so I will find him, and I'm sure you'll find out next week if I return as host, if he is still on the island captive, or if he's gone full Tomb Raider and destroyed everything and ruined my plans for world domination. One podcast at a time. I'm coming for you, Pleasure Explosion.
Important question. Is the island purgatory?
No, because I wasn't that stupid. And I no, not at all. Not at all. It's named after a gentleman named Philip. It's not a very common place. There's not many people on this island, so we're good. We're good. Thank you very much. You can catch us over on Twitter. You can find Ashley at ASHLEYHOBLEY and myself, Ciaran, at your boy Ringo. Check us out on Explosion Pod for all the updates of our Twitch channel and all of our weekly shenanigans. Check us out there. Please, if you're going to be at PAX Australia this year on the 27th of October through to the 29th, please come feel free to say g'day, give me a hug. I will be there. Ashley Hobley will be there. And if he's still alive, I will bring Dylan Blight in my suitcase. And also John.
He'll be wearing like a collar, and we'll just drag him around.
Like he'll look like if he looks a bit disturbed. If he asks you for help, ignore him. He's just talking.
He's definitely joking.
He's definitely joking if he looks scared and asks for help. You know.
I mean, he's a really good actor.
Thank you. Please like, subscribe, share it with your mates. Tell your mum it's pretty good. She likes PlayStation, I know. Catch you next time. I've got a Tasmanian to go find.
Hey, listen, Ciaran here.
If you haven't heard, the Explosion Network will be streaming for 24 hours and participating in Extra Life on November 4th, raising money for the Sick Kids Centre for Global Child Health. Head on over to explosionnetwork.com/extralife for all the details on how you can help us, including donating, giving us some ideas for challenges, or games you'd like to see us play. October 27th to 29th, apparently Pack Melbourne's happening, and I'm going to be there with Dylan, Ash, and Jono. So feel free to come say hey if you see us on the show floor. Then, there's a disturbance in the Force. On October 27th, we'll be launching a Star Wars podcast in the lead up to Episode 8, The Last Jedi. Of course, our weekly shows will always continue. Pleasure Explosion Mondays, Platinum Explosions on Tuesdays, and Grandstand Gurus Thursdays. All at 12 p.m. Catch our live streams where I like to dwell during the evenings at twitch.tv/Explosion Network, and keep your targets locked on explosionnetwork.com for all our explosive content. Shout out to Bevan.